Yeah. Mm. In the chat, let me know if you can hear me really quickly here. We're about to do something fun, fun, fun. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Yolanda. A little delayed over there. I see you. I see you. What's up, everybody? So good to see you guys. I see Yvonne. I see Yolanda. I see Jasmine. I see Lisa. I see Miriam. I see Antonio. Really quickly, because if you're watching this live, you're going to get the benefit of asking some questions on the back end of this. If you're watching the recording of this, it's just going to be up today. This is only up today, this recording. And here's my goal. It's called Cliff Notes. I don't know about you, but Cliff Notes in high school for me was I didn't read the 320-page book because it was going to take me, 9 hours to read. But I read the 30-minute version Cliff Notes book, which gave me the whole breakdown. That was kind of my book reading plan. Some of you were overachievers. I wasn't an overachiever. So the Cliff Notes is intended for people who might not want to spend 5 hours with us last week. It's intended for the not only for everybody. If you spent 5 hours, this is going to be a reinforcement to what you learned last week. It's going to be the best of the best, the highlights of the highlights. If you didn't spend any time with us, this is a perfect training with you for you. And if you spent a day or two with us, this will supplement the things that you missed. So every bucket fits. Were you here 0 days? Write zero in the chat. Were you here 1 or 2 days? Write 1 or 2 in the chat. Were you here all days? Write all, not three, all. I want to see that in the chat. All 0, 1, 2. Rach, we have a lot of people who I would love to have more zeros here. So I'm calling my team out to say, what do we got to do to get the zeros here? Zeros. If you're watching this on the replay, you're watching this live, this is going to be perfect. It will condense 5 hours into, we'll see how fast I go. If you're here 1 or 2 days, it's going to fill in some of the blanks that you missed. And if you were here 3 days, it will reinforce the highlights. Does that sound good to you guys? Does that sound good? Let me know where my live crowd is chiming in. I always try to do this as fast as I freaking possibly can. As fast as I can, the Cliff Notes. And then our team will break up the Cliff Notes and they'll send that out as a replay, and it'll only be available today. It'll go down tonight. But I want people to have the summary of last week. And then for my live audience, I'll open it up for some Q&A. I actually time myself. The fastest I think I've ever gone is 27 minutes from start to finish. Because it's not intended to get into the weeds. It's intended to give a high-level overview of all 3 days. Cool? Anybody want to take a guess at what my time's going to be today? Take a guess. We'll see who is the closest in the chat at the end. I actually start my clock here in a minute. And when I start the Cliff Notes, some of you saying 40 minutes. Geez, give me some love. I would take the under on that. I'd take the under. And you might even want to do like 22 minutes and 30 seconds. I do this with my girls. I'm like, hey, how far will it take us to go from home to church? It's going to be less than 7 minutes. And Shiloh will go 4.5 minutes, Dad, and Emma will go 6 minutes, Dad, and then Dad will go 5 minutes, and we have some fun with it. So let's have some fun today. Cool. If you don't know me, I'm Pete Vargas. I'm a partner of Eric and Marina. I came into the world in 2020. I helped them do the largest event in network marketing history, and then just set them up to be able to do their thing. And then our paths crossed last year again. Marina and Eric said, hey, you and your team are some of the most brilliant people that we've ever worked with, and we want to engage with you in a deeper way. And we got to step into a partnership with them. And I love it because we get to help them. But one of the things they ask us to do is help you as well, in helping you understand how to grow your network marketing business as well. So the things that we're helping them with, they want us to pass that off to you. So today I get to do the Cliff Notes for you, and I get to answer some questions, and we'll see what happens throughout the course of the day. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to power through it. I'm going to get started, and I am going to time myself. I got the clock. I got the stopwatch, and if you haven't picked your time, pick your time. If you haven't picked your time, pick your time. But I'm going to roll. I'm not stopping. You guys get the benefit of asking some questions at the end. And by the way, my VIPs get to ask questions. So VIPs, be ready to enter your question in the chat. Do not tell me you're a VIP if you're not a VIP. Be integrable. Be honest. literally put VIP and then your question at the end when we open it up for questions, because we only have one or two rooms today, so I don't have separated VIP rooms today. And then if I get through all the VIP questions, I'll open it up for other people to ask questions. But all in all, we'll be here an hour, but the Cliff Notes, hopefully we'll rock and roll through it. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to start. You see the quad, all the zeros. Here we go. Welcome to today's Cliff Notes. Was your host of the challenge last week, Pete Vargas. You already know what the Cliff Notes are because I just told you in the last 10 minutes. My intention is to go fast, give you the highlights, and let you really see the amazing challenge that we did last week called the Presenter Always Wins Boot Camp. Welcome today. I'm excited to share this with you. Obviously, I know the power of being in network marketing because network marketing changed my life in college. It is the thing that allowed me to get through college. It allowed me to overcome a repossessed car that I inherited from my parents. It allowed me to pay for college, and actually it allowed me to make more money than my college professors who were trying to teach me about business. And this is what I can tell you. The person that controls the mic, the person that has the mic, is the person that wins. Not always literally speaking, but metaphorically speaking, the person who has the mic is the one that's going to win. And so you need to have the mic day in and day out in your business. And so what I want to do is I want to sum up last week. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to move fast. I got my timer on. And so we're going through the Presenter Always Wins Boot Camp. Ronald, can you see my screen over here with your thumbs up if you can? You can? Got it? Cool. I'm going to start the play. I'm a little slow here. Where I see play? Where am I at here, team? Maybe
Click
right
slideshow.
here. There we go. All right. And y'all can see that, right? Yep. Cool. So listen, we're going through the Cliff Notes. We're going through Pete's highlights, Eric's highlights, Lisa's highlights. I wish we had Marina on there. Day one, we focused on that. 5 presentations every network marketer should master. Eric nailed it with this. On day 2, we talked about how to land many customers and distributors with these presentations. How do you grow your business? And on day 3, we focused on overcoming the fear of presenting and the power of your personal story. So let's dive in. Day 1,
Hey,
if you were
Pete.
with me on day 1, write day 1 in the chat. And if you weren't, don't write anything. But Eric talked
Pete,
about yes.
sorry to interrupt. Can you click swap displays at the top of your screen?
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. 5 presentations that every network marketer should master. 5. And Eric got into these. And I'm going to talk about them because these become the foundational thing of what you want to become great at. The first presentation that you must master is the presentation of your personal story. This is your number one recruiting tool that you use in your business. You talk about the background, your background of where you came from. There was 4 parts that Eric talked about here, and this is the only sub-framework that I'm going to give in these 5. He talked about your background and making sure that people understand what you came from. I was a teacher. I was a college student. I was this. I was that. I was a stay-at-home mom. I was a senior, soaring seniors. And now all of a sudden, here's some of the things I didn't love. And then this thing came my way, this solution came my way, and now the future looks bright. Here's what I want you to know. This to me is the most powerful thing that you can master out of all 5. If you can dial in your personal story, you can do whatever you want. And I know Eric I talked about tracking it, and Eric said, don't make it complex. Don't make it complex. Just write it on a piece of paper or keep track on the notes. Here's how you win. The more you share your personal story, the more you're going to win. And some of you are going to get the chance to share your personal story very soon and win Eric's stage. And so make sure that you use the script and the template. By the way, the script and the template are something that you get next week at our presentation mastery certification. But this is the number one recruiting tool that you need to use in your business. And the person who shares the story the most is the person that wins. Let me rephrase that. The person that shares their personal story the right way Anybody ever heard the terminology practice makes perfect? Anybody ever heard that? It's BS. Perfect practice makes perfect. You can't do the wrong things and expect to win. So it's not just the person who shares their personal story, it's the person who shares their personal story the right and powerful way. And that's what we taught you to do. The second presentation is your opportunity presentation. This is your recruiting machine. This is when you begin to talk about the product, the opportunity, the company. You tie your story into this as well, and you let them see the power of what can happen. This is where duplication can begin to take place. Every one of you should have an opportunity presentation that is powerful, that can attract people. And by the way, move from a one-to-one to a one-to-many opportunity presentation. What happens if you could have 5 or 10 people showing up for your opportunity presentation? That's called scale. And this is where people don't just get convicted about you and connect with you. This is where they connect with you and get convicted about your product and your company. The third presentation that Eric talked about is the getting started presentation. If number 1 and 2 are for selling customers and recruiting distributors, number 3 and 4 are for duplication and retention. Write that down. You've got to have something that gets starting, a getting starting presentation that launches your team, that gets their commitment, that gets their buy-in. And that's one that allows you to duplicate, and this one definitely allows you to retain. The fourth presentation is teaching them to master the skill sets, helping them understand that they have got to master their skill sets. So now that they've gotten started, and now that they're launched, and now that they're beginning to build a little momentum, the next thing is you want to take them from amateur to pro, from beginner to pro, from rookie to pro. And the way you do that is mastering skill sets. Can I tell you the skill sets that Eric believes are critical? The foundational skill set is what he calls mindset and personal growth. They have to be able to have a powerful mindset. They have to be able to have just a desire to grow personally. And then the 6 core skill sets that Eric believes every network marketer must become great at is sales, recruiting, duplication, retention, leadership, and presentation and presenting. You don't necessarily need to train them on those 6. By the way, we have tons of free things, and we have tons of low ticket things and tons of things that help people do that. But you have to help them understand what's going to help them go from amateur or rookie to really a pro, and treating this like a business, not like a hobby. And that's them becoming great at the skills. And number 5 is your keynote presentation. Eric didn't talk a lot about that because I talked about that on day 2, but this is what I want you to know. If your personal story helps you recruit 1-to-1, your keynote presentation helps you recruit 1-to-many. This brings many people into your ecosystem. Grant Cardone said to me, the most powerful thing that the number 1 skill set that people need to master is becoming a great presenter. It's the number 1 thing I'm teaching my girls, because if they can do that, they can do anything in this world. Day 2, how to land new customers and distributors with presentation 1 and with presentation 5. That's what I focused on. How do we land new customers and distributors? How do we get ROI out of this? And so I help people understand the power of a keynote talk. Excuse me, I've got to have some water here. The power of a keynote talk. And I said, look here. This 1-2 punch that I taught on day 1 is the same 1-2 punch that all of those people on the screen have hired me one-on-one to do. About 5 of those people have paid me over $1 million. Over 5 of those, 5 plus, to work with me one-on-one. The least anybody has paid me on there is probably $50,000. The least. And most of them hundreds of thousands of dollars. Why? To understand how they can use this 1-2 punch in their business. Different elements of it, they hired me for different reasons. But the first part is your signature talk. This is a talk that you want to take to the market that is outside of the network marketing arena. You want to take it on a bunch of different stages, and I'll show you those stages that have your ideal customers or ideal people who could be distributors for you. That's what you want to do. Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And so why we call this the story braid framework is it's 4 parts in designing your signature talk that you can share one to many. Crowd of 50, crowd of 100, thousands, tens of thousands. Some of you are going to get the chance to share it with on Eric's stage. Who's going to win the GoPro stage? Like, write GoPro in the chat. And so I really want to encourage you to understand this framework. The first part of the framework is you've got to connect with people's hearts. They want to know that you understand where they're at, but they want to go to a place that you have gone or that you are going. And by the way, you don't have to be 20 chapters in front of them. You only have to be 1 chapter in front of them. So if they're on chapter 1 and you're on chapter 2 is up here. You think you have to arrive. You don't have to arrive. You've already taken some steps to grow. You've already lost 10 pounds. You've already increased your revenue significantly. You've already had a better marriage. You've already, whatever. They want to know that you're helping them go to a place that they desire to go. And by the way, the key to this is people want to grow in their health, wealth, and relationships. In this presentation, you're not talking about your company. You're talking about how people can grow in their health, wealth, and relationships. Those are the 3 areas that everybody wants to grow in. Unless there's some sickness that has to do with it or some things going on mentally, like really, those are the 3 places people want to grow: their wealth, their health, and their relationships. And so your company does one or all 3 of those. So your signature talk needs to be built around how they can go from here to here in one of those areas. And now you've presented the gap. And now you teach to the gap. If the first part is to win their heart, their minds are never going to be open if you don't grab their heart. And if they know you know where they're at, but you also know where they want to go, they're going to now open up their minds to listen. The second part is to close the gap. Teach them 3 to 5 things that they can do to close the gap in their life, in their health, in their wealth, in their relationships. And these teaching points are the thing that are going to tie them back to want to be a customer with you or a distributor with you. The third part is the call to action. You have to actually give them some free resource so that you can capture their name and information so that you can now follow up with them to be a customer and or a distributor. So the 5 core things that will completely transform your health. I'm going to give you the checklist of not only the 5 core things, but where you can go get those things. Or I want to help you understand the 7 things that will allow you to be successful from working from home. A checklist. Now, all of a sudden, if they download that checklist, guys, they basically said, we want to work from home. And now you can follow up with them about being a distributor. And the 4th thing is you want to close with a story that reinforces everything that you taught them. This is the simple framework in designing your keynote. Warren Buffett said your business can improve by value by 50% a year just by becoming great at presenting. But the thing that was huge that I want to encourage you guys to do, the thing that's huge is look at this. I want you to see this. There are 4 quadrants of stages you can be on. I'm not focused on the right side. Those are your own stages. Those are your company's stages. Maybe those are the stages that you start to do on your own. And as you evolve and become kind of that $250,000 earner, hey, how many people are did over $250,000 in their business last year? Write 250 in the chat and be honest with me. Be honest with me if you did. If you did over $250,000, you should focus on the right side, building your own webinars, building your quadrant 3, building your own Instagram following, quadrant 4, hosting your own local events. But if you're not at that point yet, do not start there because it takes time, money and energy to build the right side, meaning your own digital stages, quadrant 3, or your own physical stages, quadrant 4. It takes you time and money to build those. But the left side, it doesn't take you money. Somebody else has already built the podcast, quadrant 1, OPS digital stages. Somebody else has already built a local female entrepreneur stage in Colorado Springs that I can show up and I can deliver a talk. So if you're less than 250, focus on quadrant 1 and quadrant 2, OPS digital and OPS physical. If you're over 250, focus on quadrant 1, quadrant 2, and quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. But only build one of your own on the right, one of your own digital and one of your own physical. But guys, so here's the power. I just told you this. The pros and cons to other people's stages is it costs you no time and almost no money, but you don't own the stage. It's theirs. The right side, you own it, but it costs you time and money. That's why I'm advocating for all of you stay on the left side. So what happens when you take your talk to physical stages like this? I told the group last week that bucket number 1 is one of my favorite for network marketers. Go to local meetups, go to local stages, share your signature talk, move people, and watch how your business grows. Or go to conferences like Eric's that have single rooms or multi rooms that take place and watch your business grow. Go to masterminds where people have invested a lot of money. I just talked to a network marketer yesterday that's in like a peptide company. If she would start to speak in masterminds with 150 people who've invested a lot of money, they're going to become her most loyal customers. Her most loyal customers. Go to retreats or VIP experiences that other people are hosting and be one of the people who speak. These are some of the stages that you can be on, which is quadrant 2, other people's physical stages. My rhythm is 1 a month, so 12 a year. I asked everybody last week in the challenge, how many are you going to be on? How many are you going to be on? And then there's digital stages. You know what I love? I love being on other people's digital stages because I can do it right here from my home, and so can you. And when we help you design a signature talk and we write it in a way where you can do it in 60 minutes, 30 minutes, or even 15 minutes. And so these are 14 different digital stages of other people's stages that you can put your signature talk on. My favorite for you is number 1, number 2, and number 3. Number 5. Those are some of my favorites. 1, 2, 3, and 5. And you know, another favorite for me is 11 and 12. 11 is a virtual event that people pay for. But number 12 is more powerful because there's in-person people and virtual people. Whoever said they're going to win the GoPro stage, the one that you're going to win is number 12. You're going to get the best of both the physical and the digital. We'll have 400 of the top money earners in the room, and we'll have tens of thousands of people virtually online that have all paid to be a GoPro. And you sharing your story on that, you sharing your story and getting the chance, like, what is that going to do for you for exposure? One person who's been on the GoPro stage said, there was somebody not in the profession that reached out to me and said, I wanted to get into the profession after hearing your story. And that person has become one of their biggest business builders because of that. So the power of digital stages. So my question to everybody last week is, how many physical and how many digital stages are you going to be on in the next 12 months? For me, I do 1 physical stage a month. So that's 12, and 1 digital stage a week. So that's 52. Mine are 12 or 52. Make your commitment to how many you're going to be on. Build a great signature talk. Put that talk on stages and watch what happens to your business. Like, guys, in the chat, 1 small stage of 50 people, what would that be worth to you if you landed 5 new customers or 5 new distributors from 1 little tiny stage in your backyard? And by the way, these are super conservative numbers. What would that be worth to you? What if you did one digital stage every week that had 50 people listening and 5 of them became customers or distributors? Now multiply the number that you just put in the chat by 52, and you can begin to see the power of stages. This is a perfect person. This person was the net. Eric allows we pick a winner of which network marketer on the GoPro stage had the most powerful story and the most powerful talk. And Leah Lockett won last year. And now I'm putting her on a stage in the UK, and it has 1,000 entrepreneurs that aren't network marketers. And she's going to share her story, and she's going to share her signature talk. And many of those people will become customers, and a lot of them will probably become distributors because of that talk. The power of one talk, one to many. All right, let's get to day 3. We're almost done here. Day 3. Eric had 5 core nuggets that I want to share with you from day 3. Eric's 5 core nuggets, and I'm going to go over these fast. He talked about every time you're on Zoom presenting, even when you're in the audience, how do you show up? Like right now, I do not like how Josephine is showing up. And Ronald, I want to see your face, not the top of your head. I'm being honest with you. There we go. That's more powerful. How do you show up? Not just as the presenter, but the person that's from the stage. I can't even see Craig Jenkins. Like how you show up goes a long way. And Eric talked about that. Before you're a presenter in the front of the room, you have to be a presenter in your chair. It's called reciprocity. It's called reciprocity. And when your vision or reasons get bigger than your fear, no longer will you fear the stage. You might get nervous. You know what Michael Hyatt told me? He said the number one reason why people have a fear of speaking is because they're thinking about themselves. Let me ask you a question. How many of you believe that if you could share your story and share things about you that with confidence that you could transform the people that are listening to you? How many write the word transform? How many believe if I had stages I could transform their life? Michael Hyde said the reason people have fear is because they're thinking about themselves and what the others are going to think about them. He said when he overcame the fear of public speaking, his wife said, start thinking about the people and how you can transform them, and the fear will begin to dissipate. The fourth thing, structure is what kills fear. Why are we giving you structure? For all of you coming to Presentation Mastery, we're giving you the exact script or the exact PowerPoint deck so that you can walk it slide by slide anytime you do those 5 presentations. And we will build each of those 5 in one day so that you have the structure, and that won't only kill the fear, it kills the bombing, meaning you bombing and failing and not getting customers as well. So it doesn't just kill fear, it kills you messing up as well. And the 5th thing Eric said is be yourself. Don't try to be Pete. Don't try to be Eric, and don't try to be Lisa. If I identified us 3, Eric's a teacher. Pete's someone who motivates folks to take action. And Lisa's like, reaches to the depth of your soul. And by the way, none of those are better than others. They're all needed. We're all different, and so are you. Be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. Last, Lisa Nichols knocked it out of the park. She gave us 5 great nuggets. And the nuggets were your story is your only uncopyable asset. Your comp plan can be compared, your product can be compared, your company can be compared, but only one person has your story. That's your superpower. We're in an influence economy now. People don't choose products or companies, they choose people. And they choose people who they connect with through their words. She said the pipeline is emotion, trust, and action. And you must invite people into action. And if you don't invite them to action, you failed them. You failed them. How many of you feel like you failed people because you've been afraid to invite them into action? Anybody feel that way? Like I failed them because I don't do a great job of having them act or calling them to take action. Anybody who put that in the comments, it's probably because you don't take action a lot of the times either. And so you feel incongruent. The fourth thing is your assignment doesn't need your permission, it needs your movement. It needs your movement. And then the fifth thing that Lisa said is you keep asking, am I ready? Your assignment is asking, are you willing? Are you willing? Because these were 5 massive golden nuggets. 5. And so before I get to the Q&A here in just a few minutes, our goal of last week and the Cliff Notes goal of last week is how do we help you master all 5 of these areas? Because if you can do that, no comp plan, no company, none of that stuff will have power over you if you know how to do this well. This well. So guess what? Next week, presentation mastery takes place. And we don't want to just teach you like we taught you last week. We actually want to build out with you. We want to build those 5 presentations where you literally get the structure at a high level and the overview of it done. Last week, you left with a to-do list. Next week, you're going to leave with a to-done list. How many of you like getting stuff done based on templates and scripts and decks that have success? I don't care if you get something done that's not going to get results. You've got to get things done that will get you results. A lot of you are spending time getting things done that don't have proven history to get you results. Guess what? These 5 have proven history to get you results. And next week, we're going to build out all 5 of those. All 5 of those. There's 4 major components to this training. The first of the 4 is on April 29th. We're going to build out all 5 of those presentations in a one day. Eric's going to focus on a couple. I'm going to focus on one. I think Eric will focus on 3, Lisa on 1, me on 1. And we're going to build those out, a full day hands-on training with 3 of the best. And if you cannot make that date within a week, it will be uploaded into a portal that you can do it on demand and you have lifetime access. This has never been done in GoPro Network Marketing Pro's history, this presentation mastery, and it's going to be done live so it can then be evergreen. And you will become a GoPro certified presentation mastery certified. The second thing, and by the way, it's in English, Spanish, Italian, French, and German. The second component is we're actually going to give you the exact scripts, the exact PowerPoint decks, and everything you need to do to get it done that day. Plug and play. Plug and play. It's going to be awesome. Next week, I'm going to host a training, a pre-workshop to get you ready so you can start thinking through this stuff ahead of time before the day. So when the day comes, you can get stuff done. Guys, this alone is worth the price. These are proven templates, decks, and scripts to allow you to win. The third component is after presentation mastery, we're going to do a one-on-one business growth audit with you. We're going to do a business growth audit with you that helps you understand how you're going to use presentations to move from here to where you want to be. And a lot of you aren't where you want to be because you told us that. And then the last thing, anybody who decides to take part of this, we're going to do this fall, we're going to do a GoPro Speak Off. And at the GoPro Speak Off, we're going to allow everybody who went through presentation mastery to be a part of this. And there will be a few of you that win the opportunity to share your personal story on stages. On stages. Plus, next week, you'll be able to do a live Q&A with Eric. It's a power pack thing. Today, what we did last week, we had 100 come really quickly, and we had 100 people take advantage of this fast acting bonus. Today on the Cliff Notes, the first 15 that actually say I'm stepping in, because tonight at midnight, we're closing the offer down. We're closing the offer down so we can get everybody prepared for next week and get them ready, get them onboarded, and get them ready to knock it out of the park. So 15 of you that decide to take action through the Cliff Notes today, we're going to give you a $1,500 credit that you can use later on anytime this year into certification or mentorship. And guys, if y'all missed it, last week I actually bonused in a product. I said anybody, and this is a $29.97 retail price product. Said anybody that steps into presentation mastery, I'm going to bonus in my signature course, Stage to Scale, that has over 10,000 students across the world that have paid $19.97 for this. You can actually see on your screen, I think a couple of hundred people in Eric's community in 2021, 2022 paid $2,000 for this program, and we're actually going to bonus it in for no cost. And this is the program that helping you build your signature talk and the program that helping you get on stages. I couldn't believe that Lisa bonused in Lisa Nichols from Good to Unforgettable last week. I could not believe that. Unreal. And the last thing that we bonused in last week is that everybody who takes action before midnight tonight, we're going to do a one-on-one review of your personal story after next week's presentation mastery. You will submit a video of your personal story after going through the training next week, and we will give you feedback and insight why we want to make you better so that when you actually go to the speak off or you go to any other stages or you talk with people one-on-one that you're fully optimized. So we didn't just bonus that in on day 3. We bonused the one-on-one talk review of your personal story. And so, guys, we want you to go to presentationswin.com. This is the Cliff Notes version. We wanted to give you the overview of the 3 days, but we also wanted to tell you that this crazy, ridiculous offer, which had over $12,000 of value last week, it does go away tonight, and you can get it for $14.97. And here's what I want you to know. Pete, could we still buy it after the fact? Sure, you can for $14.97. But the bonuses that you see on there are the things that go away, and they're extremely valuable. And so if you have not taken action, tonight is the night that it closes, midnight Pacific Standard Time. That's California time. So go to presentationwins.com. Listen, we have a standard 1 pay or a 3 pay, but here's the beautiful thing for those of you that might need a little bit of a longer a payment plan, that if you just click on the flexible financing options available and you choose Clarity Pay on the order form, or you speak to a billing expert right here. I don't know what they need to do. Just say billing expert, or you want to talk to an advisor. You can do that and it will extend the payment plan. So today, as I wind down the Cliff Notes version and I look at my clock, I want to finish this up because I want to dive into the Q&A. For those of you that are watching the replay, now is the time to take action. It's time to get off the fence. It's time to stop telling the narrative that I don't have the money. I'll do this when I do have the money. Well, guess what? If you could have had the money, you would have had the money by now. That is a narrative and a story and a limiting belief that you continue to tell yourself. Eric said last week, if there were a Lamborghini outside of your house and someone knocked on the door and you're like, dude, there is nothing wrong with this, and your mechanic said it's in tip-top condition, would you figure? And he said, but I need $1,500 by the end of the day. Could you figure it out? Yes or no? Could you figure out how to buy that Lamborghini? Let's say it's $250,000. Could you figure it out? Yes or no? That was Eric's quote. I thought to myself, Eric didn't say this last week. I thought, man, if they master these presentations, the Lamborghini is nothing in comparison to what this will do for the rest of their career. So if you can figure that out, you can figure this out. So guys watching the replay, I hope that you'll take action. People who are here with me live, I hope that you'll take action today. If you haven't taken action today in the chat and you're like, I know I'm going to do this and I'm doing it today. I'm doing it today, right today. If you did it in the last few days, right? Last few days, because I want to see those people who took action in the last few days. But if you're taking action today, I want to see that in the chat right today. It goes away tonight. And then we start to kickstart with the pre-workshops, the preparation, getting you ready for that day and helping you knock it out of the park. All right, I'm gonna keep going live with people live and Cliff Notes version. I hope that we see you within presentation mastery. All right, guys. And so what we'll do is we'll literally cut it there. We'll send the replay. Let's see who was the closest. And you guys can tell me who was the closest. 34 minutes and 30 seconds. 34 minutes and 30 seconds. Not too bad for a Cliff Notes version. Last week was about 5 hours. So I did everything we did, probably closer to 5.5 hours. So I did everything we did, in a fraction of the time and covered the highlights. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask so first off, I really I timed it based on my start time, not your start time. So whoever guessed the closest, I would love to know that. And my team can look back on that because that's not what I want you focused on. I'm going to take questions for a little bit here. Let me see here. 35 minutes could have been it. All right. Congratulations, Christabel. Christabel's signing up today. Congratulations. And I want to see something. Okay. So listen, at the bottom, I'm not unmuting because I'm going to ask VIPs I don't know if the hands up are VIPs. So I'm going to ask VIPs. Congratulations, Amy. I love that. I'm going to ask VIPs to write VIP in the question that you have because I'm going to firecracker a lot of questions today. I want VIPs to be able to ask their question because we're all in intertwined rooms. I'm not going to unmute hands like they did last week. Pete, what books will you suggest to read additionally for Signature Talk keynotes? JJ, I'm going to be a little selfish here. Don't read a book. Hopefully you're getting the bonuses, JJ. Hopefully you're getting the bonuses as a GPCM. GPCM, you get presentation mastery as part of your deal, and as part of your deal, you got the craziest bonuses for being a part of certification and mentorship. The bonuses here are included for people who are taking action in this for the first time. You've got the chance to get the bonuses. Don't read a book. Go through the Signature Talk module. Go through the Signature Talk module, and it's greater than any book out there. Now, I do love Robert Cialdini, or however you say his name, like Persuasion. Persuasion is an incredible book that I would think about. And I would definitely read that book. That's an unbelievable book. So there's that question. Great, Jana. You're a VIP. Ask me a question. I'm going to power through these questions. You're just not going to get to hear your beautiful voice today. How powerful will my present Carolina? And by the way, if you have a question about the program, write program and your question. I'll answer anybody's questions about the program. I want to make sure you have clarity because when you don't have clarity, you don't have confidence. And when you don't have confidence, you don't have customers. I hope you write that down. Lack of clarity leads to a lack of confidence, which leads to a lack of customers. So when you get clarity, you get aha, and now all of a sudden you start to get confidence. And when you get confidence, you will begin to see the customers turn up like crazy. Caroline, and go to presentationswin.com, guys, to take advantage today. And it does go away tonight. How powerful will my presentation be if my story is not like I went from start to millionaire in a year? Caroline, here's one of the things I want you to understand. Number one, you don't have to go from, think about this as a book. Think about building your business as a book. You'll get to chapter 15 and 20, hopefully, where you do hit that $1 million mark. But what have you done to already come to chapter 1 or chapter 2 or chapter 3? You don't have to talk about the millionaire success story. You can talk about the fact that, oh my God, I made my first $1,000. Do you realize that, I think it's like $600 a month that will change people's life? It's like a crazy number. So quite frankly, your first $1,000 or your first 10 pounds are even bigger than for a lot of people because that seems doable. Do you realize for a lot of people, $1 million doesn't seem doable? It is. But I don't need you to be at chapter 22. I need you to be at chapter 2. And for some of you that don't feel like you're at chapter 2, then you're going to have to leverage somebody else's story. You're going to have to leverage somebody else's story. Okay, I'm answering my VIP questions. If you have a question for our billing expert, flexible payment, any of that, just type the word program advisor in the chat, guys. Type the word program advisor. Our program advisors are here to answer your questions, and they're here to help you with the billing side of things. Uh, Craig King said the fear factor, is it really based on, and Craig, I don't know if you're a VIP, but I'll answer this. Is it really based on the lack of preparation? It's based on the lack of preparation. It's based on the lack of reps with the right framework, the winning framework. So remember, just because you go practice reps, if you don't practice with the right way or the right framework or the playbook that's got actually a history of winning, Bill Belichick's playbook has a history of winning in the NFL. Eric Worre's has a history of winning in network marketing. Somebody else's playbook does not have that. So it's the reps with the right playbook, with taking the emphasis off of yourself and focusing on the audience. Those are the three things that I would say. You got to put in the reps with the right templates, decks, scripts, playbook. And then you got to take your mind off of you and onto other people. And a lot of you take that feeling of fear and you never push through it. You never push through it. You let fear stop you from a stage, but some of you are even going to let fear stop you from making this decision that I truly know the power. Eric asked last week, how much have my presentation skills helped me generate? My presentation skills have helped me, and this is not normal, and this is not what most people can do, but my presentation skills have helped me generate over $100 million in the last 10 years. So I mastered them early on in my career to be a network marketer, but now they've evolved me into being an entrepreneur. Some of you got to push through that fear. That's the possibility you have. Hey, Lisa says VIP high is the training over after the 29th. Lisa, great question. Next week, we'll do a pre-workshop to prepare people for the training, and I'll lead that. Then we'll do the training on the 29th. It's most of the day. And then within a week or so, the training will be uploaded into a portal where you will have on-demand lifetime access to it. So you can go back through it over and over and over again with all of the templates, all of the decks, everything. Pre-training, training, after the training, business audit, and one-on-one review of your personal story. You guys see that? We're trying to optimize you and take it to another level. Hey, Toya Aldman. Oh man. Toya said, what do you suggest if I'm experiencing speaking in a corporate meeting, but not sure what I say as a signature talk? Toya, you're going to have to give me some more context. Like, why are you speaking to that corporate audience? Is it to help you? And who is the corporate audience? And how does that serve you in your network marketing business? I need a little bit more context. Douglas, how can I teach getting on stages for duplication purposes? I mean, Douglas, I don't know if you're in the program, but first off, you need to become a master of it. You need to get yourself on stages. And Douglas, how big is your team? If you have a big team, I would be telling them all to go into presentation mastery. I would. Why are you going to try to do it? If you go put people on stages and their presentations suck, they're never going to get back invited to stages. So, Douglas, you're trying to put the cart before the horse. They need to master the presentations and then they can get on stages. Douglas, I would be poor. You want to know a competitive advantage for anybody that has a big team here? Competitive advantage is the fact that you can get a lot of people in this and you don't have to do the work. VIP, Um, Robert, see, I can go through a lot of questions this way. I can go through a lot. How discuss how tonality plays a role in your presentation and effectiveness. Yeah. Robert, in stage to scale, the $2,000 course that you get bonused in, there's a deep training on this where you can't stay in one tone. You can't stay in a high and a low and kind of the medium the whole time. You have to, your tone has to change and shift. Like the best presenters understand when to go up, when to come down, when to turn their heads. So people now know that what they're about to say is something really important. Like they know how to do all of the tones and the body language. And that's a big part. You cannot stay in one tone because people will check out. Catherine says, VIP, just want to say I'm so psyched about this. Been wanting to get into speaking, and I'm excited to keep growing my network marketing business and scale it to the next level. Thank you, Catherine. I hope, Catherine, are you in the program? What an amazing summary, Pete. Thank you. Like I really did give you the cliff notes of like in the cliff notes happened in 29 minutes, and then 4 minutes I went through the offer. I'm already in GPIC, so we get presentation mastery. You don't get all of the bonuses, Susan, in GPCM. You get presentation mastery, um, and you'll get the decks because that's part of presentation mastery. So that's powerful, but not the Lisa bonus, not the stage to scale, not all of that. But they did do something special for GPCM to be able to get them access to all of those bonuses. She goes, how can I convince my local team to allow me to speak and present, even though I'm not high on the marketing plan yet? Listen, speaking for your local team has more to do with ego, which means that you want to be seen, you want to be heard within your own company on your own company stages. But a lot of times, your own company stages aren't going to grow. They're not going to grow your business. They're going to grow the people in the audience, but they're not going to grow your business. Susan, I'm going to give you the freaking secret weapon. Go put yourself on other people's stages, grow your business, grow your customer base, and they will be begging you to be on their stages. Easy. I'm not kidding. Test me and see. And when I see you, you'll be like, you were right. By the way, the beautiful thing about other people's stages, you don't have to have a big social media following and you don't have to be a celebrity. There are so many stages that all they want is value and content, and they cannot afford celebrity speakers. So they look for non celebrity speakers. Well, that's you and that's me. If we are an MLM with products for the signature talk, is it possible or recommended to have one talk for business and another talk for products? Or should we have a talk where the two are mixed? Listen, if I were in network marketing today, I would have a talk around not my products, but if my products represented making my health, my wealth, or my relationships better, I would have a talk around health, wealth, or relationships that led people to want to try my products. Like you look at a Gary Brecka, who is a friend of the Worries, and Gary Brecka goes on Joe Rogan's podcast and talks about health in general. And because of how he talked about health in general, there were so many customers. The number is ridiculous of how many people signed up for the 10X Health products because of him having a talk around health that would lead people to the products. And then I would also have a talk that talks about the power of being a business owner and what to look for as you work from home. And I would define the criteria of what makes a successful opportunity great for somebody wanting to start a business. And I would have the most killer talk. I would say it allows you to work from home. You have the opportunity with no ceilings. There is no ceilings. Here's a trick that I would teach all of you. What if all I had to do is focus on building a team in sales and recruiting? Make it where you don't have to build a great product. You don't have to fulfill on the product. You don't have to have a customer team. You don't have to hire a bunch of employees. Like that's attractive to an audience. By the way, nowhere are you talking about your company. You're talking about what it takes to work from home. And then I'd have some fourth points. And now everybody in the room would be like, "Oh my god!" And then I would have a free giveaway that has them sign up for something that I capture their name and information, which now tells me they want that. I just defined the criteria. Write this down. I wrote a signature talk that defines the criteria of why they should join my company because my company has all of those things that I just taught them. So I would have one of both. That is a beautiful question. We just couldn't unpack that today. We will unpack that next week. Beautiful question. I hope there's some questions about the product. Hey, who's on the fence today? And if you're on the fence, today is the day to make the decision. If you're literally riding the fence, tell me fence and why at the bottom. At the bottom. Recruited one who has awesome skill set, but they're not moving very fast. So main question is how do I put fire under them away not to come down too hard? How do you know they have awesome skill set? Like how do you know that? If they haven't done anything, how do you actually know that they have awesome skill set? And man, this is like the question that everybody wishes they had the magic answer for. But sometimes you've got to put sometimes I can't the same thing a close friend of mine tells me my wife's told me 10 times and I didn't listen to her. Anybody ever had that happen? And then all of a sudden you've been telling somebody something and they hear it from somebody else and then it clicks. The big thing I would tell you, Arian, is to put that person, do what you can to put that person into presentation mastery. And I'm not kidding because what they hear from Eric, Lisa, and me will help them click. It's persuasion. Persuasion by Robert Cialdini or Cialdini. How can you share successful flyers with prospects? Man, I'm going to tell you what, I throw almost every flyer away that I get. I would rather you share your personal story. A flyer's not going to connect like your story. Yeah, their recordings were only for VIPs last week, Janice. So people from last week will get the recordings. Here's the danger. Here's one of the things that is going to go through your mind for people who are VIPs that have not stepped into presentation mastery. They're going to think going back and watching the recordings is going to do what it needs to do. No, the recordings were the teaching of what, kind of the teaching of what you need to do to become masters. Next week is the actual doing of those things. It's still some teaching, but it's the doing of those things. And a lot of the times when you try to do things on your own, it's not as easy than when you try to do it with people who have mastered it and have the frameworks, the templates, the decks, the exact methodology of you doing it. So the danger is some of you think that the recordings are going to do what next week will do, and it's so far from it. So I hope you don't fall into that danger, but everybody that's VIP, you do get the recordings. Team, can y'all answer Rita's question around what time are the hours that the 29th will take place? Do you have a success story for someone like me whose first language is not English but has to deliver everything in English? Yeah. Um, there's so many people. I have a lot of customers in Latin America, and they will come over. And actually, there is something powerful in the fact when you deliver in English and you say, "This is not my native language, but I know how important it is to deliver it." The empathy and compassion that people have on you, I think of so many people and the empathy and compassion that they have on them because they actually connect with them deeper. I think you're more playing in your head, Marielle, than you thought. How can I discover what my signature talk for someone who started to know himself lately and is related to being authentic? Gosh, Shams, I'm not going to be able to answer that. And I'm crossing my fingers that you're in the program so you can get the $2,000 bonus. That's not a BS $2,000 bonus of mine. that goes away tonight. Hey, Betty Ann, don't be concerned about the 9 to 5. If you have a 9 to 5 job, that means we need you to get in presentation mastery even more. By the way, anybody who has a 9 to 5 job, you're going to learn how to actually raise up in your job too. Like you can use the StoryBraid framework in a way that has you elevate. My son used the StoryBraid framework to get a job at the most exclusive, the coolest coffee house that exists here, that all of his peers who are more outgoing, more extroverted didn't get, but he used the StoryBraid framework and he got it. And he's an introvert. He got a job that people desired because of the StoryBraid framework. You guys will be able to use that. But Betty Ann, if you can't be there, you'll be able to go through it on demand within a week or two because you will have lifetime access to it. And you'll still be able to submit your personal story for review. My plan is to do the whole accreditation program. Will this be applied to this section of the program? I don't know what you mean accreditation. I think you mean the certification, Lisa. I don't know if you mean certification. There's no accreditation. I mean certification, and this is part of certification. If so, how do you do your story? Ruki, I'm gonna have to come back because I'm sticking to VIPs. Is there a recording of all the? Yes, um, Janet. So you'll get that. If you were a VIP, you'll get that. Jim is asking for a program advisor. Hopefully, we got all those program advisors taken care of. VIP program advisor. Who can I reach out to? My husband enrolled. Yep, program advisor will take care of you. I'm looking for VIPs. Yes, you do get presentation mastery, and you'll get the decks as well as being part of that. No, I don't know if this is a VIP, but Georgios Costas said, I never thought presentation skills are so big of a deal. I thought some will, some won't. So what next? Which, by the way, is a network marketing thing I learned even 30 years ago. There is nothing more important. Not only, if you look at all of the great business owners, all of the great the majority of them, like 90% of them, in business and entrepreneurship. They're good at, some of them are good at paid media. Some of them are good at funnels. Some of them are good at networking. Some of them are good at referrals. Some of them are good at this. But if you pay attention, the majority of them are really good at presentations. Grant said it's the most important skill set that you can develop. Uh, we haven't picked it. I'm looking at my calendar for the pre-training, guys. Toya said VIP. I spoke in front of 1,000 HR professionals, but now I don't know what I'd talk about in a signature talk. That was about software. Like, I don't get how I can't connect the dots of how HR professionals are going to help you in your business, Toya. I really hope that you're in the program. Frank says program advisor. I'm getting down to the bottom. How much does the sound of your voice play a part in your success? I don't. I mean, the like I said, the kind of moving from different tones does. But how can I discover what my signature talk is for someone who started to know himself? Chams, I already kind of addressed that. That's a deep question that I probably can't get into. Yep, you get the replays. Felicia might have been our winner. If there's anybody that predicted closer than 29 minutes. No, I said I did 32 minutes and 30 seconds, didn't I? I don't remember what my time was, but I said it. I don't think you were the closest, Felicia. Layla said program advisor. Great. I don't see payment options. There are payment options and there's flexible pay. And the flexible pay is obviously based on a credit score. I think you have to have a 500 or 600 credit score to be able to get access to some longer flexible payments. Leah's talk was from GoPro, so you don't have access to that. VIP, how do you get to other people's stages? Hey, Rahila, if you weren't there on day 3, I gave a script of how to get to other people's stages. Use that script, and that's how you get on them. Rahila, if you are in, have you signed up for the program within my course, Stage to Scale? I show you how to find all of your dream stages in less than 20 minutes that you couldn't be on in the rest of your life. So I hope you're in there because that will help you find them. But last week I shared the script. I showed you the script of how to win them. And I showed you how I did the script in front of Eric. So for all my VIPs or all, you'll get that one tool, but within Stage to Scale, there's dozens of tools that help you find them and dozens of tools that help you win them. But I made sure that every one of you had my favorite, which is what won me Oprah Winfrey and the White House. So, Felicia, I'm going to go for probably about 10 more minutes, guys. If you have any programs, I haven't seen the fence, but if you have any program questions or you're on the fence, help me, let me know why. I want to answer those. I'm just starting out and have a small team at the moment. My network marketing business is services and not products. How best do I go about winning with a presentation targeted at individuals and also business owners? I want to make the talk around relationships and wealth. So, Felicia, it all depends on what type of services you have. I don't need your company name, but if you want to down below, tell me what type of services you have, and I will help you with that question a little bit more. So, Jacqueline, I just kind of answered that question up above. How do you get on other people's stages? I don't know if you're VIP. Yeah, I'm not going to do a signature talk, guys. We're coming down to the end. We're done with teaching. We're done with demonstration. Like, you don't need any more teaching and you don't need any more demonstration. We now need to go execute. Yeah, Lou. Well, guess what? Lou says he's on the fence because he needs to get conviction about yourself. Well, Lou, I was on the fence and I signed up for Brendan Burchard's World's Greatest Speaker Training. And there was a lady over there by the name of Denise. Just think about her as your Eric. Denise had more conviction about me than I did myself for about 3 to 6 months. So some of you need to borrow our conviction. I hope some of you heard that are on the fence today. You need to borrow our conviction for you because Denise's conviction for me, she did some things for me that she didn't do for other people because she believed in me, because she heard my personal story. And when she heard my personal story and I needed to take that next level of engagement to invest 15 or $20,000, she did things to help me, but she believed in me. She was more convicted about me than I was convicted about myself. A lot of us can talk about a lot of other people in a lot very powerful way, but and are convicted about other people. But when we talk about ourselves, it's not that case. And so, what I'm going to tell you, Lou, and anybody else, borrow Eric, Lisa, and my conviction and let it rub off on you. I need to build the quality. Hey, Layla, Fence, I need to build the quality. Yeah, that's what we're doing next week. You don't need to build it. Let us build it with you. GPC on Fence. I'm behind. No, the bonuses will not expire, Rhonda. Those bonuses do not expire. So do not worry. If that's why you're on the fence, they do not expire. Sorry, Susan, you have to talk to a program advisor. We didn't get into you do get the bonuses of, so next week, GPCM, you do get bonuses. You do get the deck templates, and you also get the GoPro Speak Off. So you do get those bonuses. So there are bonuses that come, but the additional bonuses that are a presentation mastery only thing are the one I gave Lisa, and then the one-on-one review, because those are additional. There are additional costs for those guys. Okay, cool, Arian, that's great. Program advisor. The bonuses, Robin, those go away tonight too. Those are going away tonight too. Jackie, I'm going to say something to you. Jackie says, Fence, I've paid for multiple different coaches, trainings, but haven't really gotten much in the way of results in attraction. I bet you Jackie's not alone. I might have you, if that resonates with you, write the word Jackie, because then I'll know that's tied back to Jackie's comment. Jackie, what I want to say to you is I want to apologize and I want to ask for your forgiveness on behalf of the shitty coaches out there that know how to talk a good game but not back it up. There are so many coaches and trainings out there that are great at sales and marketing, but they have no history with success around the thing that they're talking about and selling and marketing. They have no track record. I know so many people who will teach you how to run Facebook ads, but they're not running Facebook ads for their own business. And that's what the coaching arena has become to get filled with, is people who are really great presenting that don't have results. And to me, that's called manipulation. Listen, you have a moral obligation to sell your products and services to the world. Let me tell you that. But your products and services better get results. So when you present and you know you have a proven track record of results, you have a moral obligation to have a bridge between those two for your people. And a lot of your coaches did this well and the selling and marketing well, but they didn't do this well. So for them, of that caliber, I'm sorry. One of the things that I would always check with any coach you hire is what is their track record around what they're teaching me to do, or have they done it, or are they doing it? So Jackie, that's the soft side. Now the good cop side, the bad cop side. If all of them or the majority of them have failed you, then you might need to take a deep look in the mirror. And I don't mean that to be mean. That means there's some blockage or something that's getting in the way. And the number one reason, or the biggest thing, is there might be some mindset or some blockage, some limiting belief, or some agreement that you've made inside that's blocking you from going to the next level, or you're too consumed about learning what to do and you never do it. Too many of you are freaking on new trainings every day, learning things new every day. No, learn and do, learn and do, learn and do. Last week was about learning. Next week's about doing. So make sure you have coaches that are helping you get things done. That's what I want to say to you, Jackie. Yeah, I mean, Casey, I think that's a good question. I think we'll cover how to leverage somebody else's story next week. I do. And that's a great question that we'll make sure that we tackle next week because you've brought it up. The pre-workshop, I saw we haven't picked the date yet because we just added that. We added that today. I'm adding that today because I want people to come in prepared. Will there be a testing for each Yes, there is a testing for each certification. And as you pass, you actually become GoPro certified. So all of you will have that ability to become GoPro certified. Oh, Robert, great question. Pete, what's the difference between stage to scale and presentation mastery? Stage to scale is focused on just your signature talk and your personal story and how to use stages to sell your products and services. It's the business model of speaking, where presentation mastery is the perfection of your presentations. Great question, dude. Somebody was closer than my 34:30. I think we had somebody at the 34 mark. 34:30 is my actual Cliff Notes time. Oh, so one was at 33 and two at 35. I'm gonna give the winner the 35, the two at 35. Say their names. I'm almost done here. How long is the program? The program's all day long, guys. It's like 6 hours, I think. And then my program, stage to scale, is about 4 hours. 4 hours. And you have lifetime access to it. Oh, okay, Felicia. I get it now. Felicia, I get this now. So listen, Felicia, if you provide some type of legal service, the next time just put legal services, but if you provide some legal service and you're going to HR and HR is a target market of people that will buy it from you, you speaking in front of 1,000 HR directors is massive. It's massive. So I would build the talk not around your company, around the 4 or 5 core things that are critical to protect your companies from legal detriments. That's not the title. And by the way, as you build that signature talk around those 4 to 5 things, make sure those HR directors are like, yes, that's what I need. Yes, that's what I need. That's what our company needs. That's what our company needs. Oh, by the way, as you follow up with all of them because you give a free resource, all of them are prime candidates to become customers of yours. I love that, Felicia. Hey guys, yeah, can y'all help with that? I'm getting a lot of like the schedule of the day. If you guys can help with that, please. Reed, I hope that conviction, I hope that I'm glad that the positive conviction has helped you. Natasha, could you go get the Lamborghini today? Natasha Johnson, could you go get the Lamborghini today? I'm asking that question for real. Lou, let's go. Lou, tell me you're off the fence. Get off the fence. Come on. Lisa will present live next week, which will be part of the certification, and all of you will get Lisa's bonus that take advantage by today. Mary, you don't have to be there live. I encourage you to be there live, but if you're there live, you get everything done, and now you don't have to go do it on demand later. And if you're there live, you get the on demand. So if there's a piece that you didn't comprehend as well, you can go back to the on demand. Do not let a squeezed schedule that's probably not going to have an impact on your career the way this day can have an impact on your career. Unless there's something crazy that I'm not familiar with that has to do with family, friends, something going on in your life that I'm not aware of. Well, Erica, your but my issue is my lack of effort and belief. Yeah, I get that. Well, let us help you with that effort next week. Why are you on the fence, Zena? You did not tell me why you're on the fence. What advice can you offer on how I can break free from my comfort zone and start promoting and talking about my travel business? Yana, you need somebody to push you out of your comfort zone. I heard something today, the 3 core desires in our life, um, that lead us to things that I'm going to literally tell you this right now. The 3 core desires that literally will get in the way is comfort, control, and approval. We're looking for comfort, we're looking to control something, and we're looking for approval from other people. And what happens is when we're looking for comfort, we press into something that can kind of numb us: TD, food, alcohol, whatever it is. And to be able to break out of comfort, you got to surround yourself with people who are going to push you out of comfort. And so, Yana, that is one of the greatest things that we will do. Like, really, we will do. Yeah, let's go, Lou. Like, I'm just telling you, let's go. Like, I feel like today's different for you. I don't need that. What, like, we don't need the company's name, but guys, we got it. I'm almost getting to the bottom here. You guys keep typing stuff. Thank you, Stephanie. Sofinian, I wouldn't even mess with Instagram right now if you're not at the 250 mark. By the way, I don't know how many people put that they're at the 250 mark. If you're still here and you're at 250 and you haven't stepped in, that's crazy to me. Like, just crazy. The tests will take place within a few weeks of you finishing the certification. A signature talk is how long that the stage tells you have. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. We teach you how to squeeze it and evolve it. I've done a signature talk in 3 minutes. I've done one in 2 hours. The sweet spot is 30 to 60 minutes. Matt Lou, see you at Mastery. I love it. You knocked down my fence. Come on, Lou. Rachel, I want to know if Lou is really off the fence. So make sure you send that to me in my, or you can chime in, Rachel. I want to see if Lou's really off the fence. We can see that. I don't know, Felicia, what 4 or 5 core things you're talking about. I'm not sure. Ronnie said this training was a whole lot better than I expected. Good. I'm glad. Listen, this is what I'm going to say, guys. I'm going to wrap up. I wanted to be here for an hour because I have other things. I pushed something back to be here with you guys. If you don't believe in yourself and if you don't have conviction for yourself, then borrow it from me, Eric, and Lisa. And if you answered the question, yes, I could go get that Lamborghini, which I'm sure 90% of you did, then why not go get a skill set that can have an impact on the rest of your career that, quite frankly, should have a greater impact than the Lamborghini? And if you said, no, I couldn't answer that Lamborghini, then I'm telling you, like, you're probably not a right fit for this program. And there is some mental roadblocks and maybe some emotional roadblocks that are getting in the way. And I understand that because I've been there. And literally, until the rest of my life, I'm overcoming mental roadblocks and emotional roadblocks in my life, full transparency, but they just become bigger. So 10 years ago, 1500 was the roadblock. 1500 will never be a roadblock for me ever again in my life. I figured out how to overcome that. I've invested the most I've invested into myself for a one-on-one coach was $250,000, and I had to pay him up front for weekly one-on-one coaching. That scared the crap out of me, but I figured out how to do it. And so here's the cool thing: problems, roadblocks, limiting beliefs won't go away, but they will become bigger problems. Where the things that you tried to unlock in the past become easy. Those are easy, but they're not easy until you unlock it. So for those of you that would have answered that Lamborghini no, then you've got some mindset stuff to do. I'd probably join GPI and let Eric GoPro Insider and let Eric coach you on a daily basis with videos. So I really want to encourage you guys, step in today if you haven't already. And if you're stepping in today, write the word today. If you literally stepped in today or you're stepping in today, write that word, because I want to congratulate you guys. We still have a big part of the crowd here. And I'm just like, I'm really honored and excited to be here. So, anyways, this will go out. This will go out The first 30 minutes. The Q&A time won't go out today. We're going to cut the first 32 and a half minutes, and that will go out. So if you want to watch that replay of the Cliff Notes, that will be available through the end of the day. God bless you. Congratulations, Lou. Lou is in. Lou is in. And I know there's a lot of other people in today. Thank you so much. And guys, we will talk to you soon. Have a great day. And we'll see many of you for the pre workshop next week and the day next week.